Alright, well, today's the day we get these guys sorted off here and get some weaning going. We're going to leave the ewes on, the ewe lambs on the ewes, so for the most part, the ewes wean their own. Had one ewe that was trying to steal milk this year. Other than that, they all wean themselves on the ewes, so we're going to pull off the biggest rams, and we're going to send them out back to the other rams, and we're going to leave the other rams in a little while. And like I said yesterday, we'll move the sheep that direction after we pull off the biggest rams for 2 weeks, maybe 2.5. When we come back this way, we'll run them in here, run them in this pen again, sort off all the other rams, and then it'll just be the ewes. So that's what the game plan is today. Now the sheep are all spread out across this 40, so why it doesn't look like very many here, but I can get them to show up good enough. Cows are up there mad they don't get to do what they want, but it's what it is. So we gotta go get us a net or two, build on that end for holding pen, work the sheep this way, kick the ewes back out that direction, hold the ram lambs in that pen right there. Then we'll do one or the other. We might drive all these that direction first, and then the boys will take that direction. So all right, I just went through, picked up the poly we had, so the pickups in one piece like that. Now my brother and uncle went to get a net or two. The game plan is we got to put a net connecting this side going out to a catch pin, so then we can run them in. So there's got to be a net here to hold them to this side so they can't go past. And then it's either going to go up to this fence or come back this way and end up at this post here, so that this can be used as the gate. And for the holding pen, then we can put the dog in here with the sheep, drive them up the alley. So just waiting on them to get back from grabbing a net. They have definitely eaten their share out of here, but give it a while, and that alfalfa will be nice and green in here about the time they come back in. Well, it probably won't be green then, but it'll have some forage and be brought back up anyway, and they'll have something to graze besides the hay. Like I said, they won't be back in here until it's strictly on feed. So, which will be good. It'll be good. Definitely hit this area pretty decently. But like I said yesterday in my video, you know, you can't rotationally graze and then everything else on top of that right now. So this area got hit a little bit harder, but this is also the area where we have the most ground cover and most hay down on the ground. As you can see, there's some there, so it'll be okay. You'll come back up and it'll be good grazing this year. This winter we're going to start on top of the hill, work our way down as far as our grazing goes, and I'm kind of wanting to try to bale graze this year, which means that those buggers, the cows, they're going to have to go in with the horses. So I got to get some more fencing done so I can keep the horses and cows in. We'll bale graze them. Probably bale graze the sheep. And we'll go from there. but it should give us some better cover. I'm anxious to see what it does. There was one area I seen that we had done out back, and in 1 year's time it was 5 times better than the rest of the field around it. So I'm wanting to try to do the bale grazing, not just on rolling. I'm liking the outcome of the on rolling, and I like getting it spread out, but oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze right there. Liking how it's turning out, but I want to see, keep trying, adapt. You're not a bug on top. Yeah, that's what I didn't think so. Got anything in there? Well, there's one bug. Couple of worms. So, a little disappointed. Other than seeing the rollers that year, I haven't seen as much activity as I'd like in the manure, but we'll see. I know I'm gonna have quite a few little runts this year because my management this spring, it kind of screwed up. And also between my management screwing up and the few ewes out here that are not very good as mothers, I got some pretty small ones. So that's something we're working on. But that's why I say right now I'm going to pull the big ones, leave the small ones in, give them a few little extra time with mom, pull them off. And I honestly don't know if throwing them on high alfalfa feed, the little ones, will help get them up or not. As far as build up their body, I don't know. So looks like my brother's back, so let's go ahead and get this net thrown up and get the sheep called down, or take the dog and get the sheep. I'm almost betting I can call the sheep. They've been in here long enough that they'll want to move, so save the dog's energy a little bit if I can, because they're going to be helping me in the pen. And then we're, like I said, the ewes are going that direction, the ram lambs are going that direction. We've got to have these drives. So anyway, all right, let's get this net up. All right, folks, we got them rounded up, got them in here, gonna get working on them. Like I said, you got some small ones, and then you got other ones that are 3 times the size. So it's what it is. Well, that's always a good sign. It did not, it didn't go as smoothly this time as it did last, but it's what it is. I got to build. Maybe I had my corner here just a little too narrow for the alleyway. I'm not sure, but it didn't work as smoothly as I would have liked. Of course, I didn't barely get started for farmer called me wanting the grain trucks. I don't get to finish doing my job here, really. I was going to do. At the moment, we're going to just have to kick them ewes out, leave these ones in this pen until I get back. And we'll go load the one truck and leave the other one or something so I can come back, and then we can move the ewes while it's still daylight. Alright, well, we got the ewes, the ewe lambs, and a couple of ram lambs, the really tiny ones, brought up here, and we're gonna let them have, between the fence line we built and the fence line we built this spring, we'll let them sit out here and eat this. And this should be 10-ish days here of feed for them, so that'll buy me the time I need to hopefully get through harvest hauling. Hopefully and hopefully not, I need to haul as much as I can and work as long as I can too. But it sure is nice still having green feed out with these rains we've been getting. Look at that. Next spring, because this, we hay bombed all this. Next spring, that's what this whole place is going to look like, Lord willing. So they'll be fairly content with that. haven't completely decided if we're putting in a little ground wire across here or not. Guess I should, considering that's open. They can walk right through that. So, but just gonna close off the gates. Well, build gates, and then let the girls just be out here and eat. Tuca's close enough to the house. I think I can get away without having the one guardian dog in here with him. Unless, depending on how the day goes, I still might be able to get the ram lambs moved out to the rams. In which case, I'll just bring that guardian dog back up here. But if I don't get to do that, then they need a guardian dog. So Tuca's here. He's closest here. And he'll know that these sheep are here, so he'll be willing to guard them. But yeah, see, there's some where the alfalfa came through, and some spots where the hay is too thick. But even where it's really, really thick, I mean, look at this. Look at that. It's coming through really nice. So there's definitely spots out here where it did get down too thick. And then other spots where it didn't get down at all. Get away from me, you horsefly. But yeah, this should buy me good enough time here to get harvest hauling done. So, whew. Grasshoppers are showing up. I don't know how much longer we'll have the green, but I'll take every day we can get of it. And that's for certain. So, anyway. The trail drive went kind of pretty decent today. Better than the sorting amount went. Screwed up a little on building our pen this time. Last time it was really slick and worked really good. This time not so much, but got the job done like always. So yeah, anyway, alrighty, I think that'll be it for this video. Y'all have a good one.